Why? Stanley, you turned the lights on too fast. You blinded the poor kid. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Can you believe it? He is growing up so fast.
Hello there, everybody. It is me, Sacred G, and welcome back to another video. And I know it's been a while since I've used this mic, but today, well, I did some thinking and, mainly a few days ago. And Fallout 4 is going to be 10 years old this year. So without further ado, I honestly want to explain why I personally think Fallout 4 is also as good as New Vegas. Not on the same scope, if you get what I'm saying, but hear me out. So, I completed another long and lengthy playthrough of Fallout 4. No, unfortunately, it was not survival mode. I have tried playing survival mode, and for me personally, there's a few things about survival mode I don't like, so I won't bring those up now. I will eventually give it a shot, probably on PC, if anything, if I even do eventually get around to it. Man, I can't believe it. Fallout 4 is going to be 10 years old, and completing this long playthrough, I played in a particular way. I played as a Nuka-Cola fanatic who grew up loving Nuka-Cola the minute they tasted it, and then they got married, and in hopes of maybe being a lawyer for an executive at a Nuka-Cola factory or whatever it is. Honestly, I haven't really thought of that. But, actually I did. It was being a lawyer for Nuka-Cola in the hopes of that, and also, well, change of plans before the bombs fell and after Sean was taken care of for the duration that my female character was watching or taking leave off from work from. She was going to go work for a Nuka-Cola factory, but then, of course, the bombs fell, and she wasn't really a good person. Anywho, that's besides the point, and that's one of the big things, and I know you guys have heard me say this time and time and time again, but every time I hear discussions or even decide to talk about Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 is the black sheep of the Fallout franchise. No joke, almost every discussion you'll hear are from either super or RPG elitists that think Fallout 4 should have been either the same game or relatively touching tips with New Vegas. And, when I was playing through the game, I don't get most of the criticisms, like, the biggest one being that the game doesn't feel like an RPG, or it isn't a true RPG, because guess what? The dialogue choices really are just, you can't read them. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, well, for the most part, if you click sarcastic, you click the most of the time a negative dialogue option, your character says something relatively negative, and for me, that's satisfying, okay? It fleshes out the personality of the character, and then I have, the character doing whatever the fuck it is that I want them to do. Like, for the entirety of the playthrough, before I even got to the railroad, or even knew about, or got to Kellogg, I had my character going around collecting Nuka-Cola, okay? She clearly didn't find Sean that important. And that's another thing, too. People are just like, well, the story, man, that is way too, what's the word? Fucking, like, too, like, urgent. Yeah. The story's too urgent. You need to actually find Sean. Why would you not want to find Sean? Because they made you a parent that cares about him, which isn't true. Nothing in the game says that your character, whether that be the male or female character, says you want to find Sean, okay? And I had a blast. I had a fucking fun time playing this way, and I also, had her fuck over the Institute too, which is another thing. If you can't roleplay in the game, I don't know why they allow you to screw over certain factions in a particular way, even work under their guise for a certain period of time, and then all of a sudden, here you are helping out the Brotherhood of Steel. I could have actually had her join the Institute, but I decided not to. I decided to have her join the Brotherhood of Steel. So there's a few things I want to talk about in regards to the main story. I am going to sit here and say I am not a huge fan of it. I don't hate it. It's more of, the same rehash of Fallout 3. That's the only thing I don't care about. Because it's literally Fallout 3, but the roles are reversed. Instead of you looking for the parent, it's the parent looking for the son. And we all know that's been said and done plenty of times by genuine criticism, which I believe is a genuine criticism of the game. And of course, the story is different. Like, You don't spend a lot of time in the vault. You are frozen for most of it, and by the time you wake up, everyone's fucking dead. And honestly, I think that's a little different. I mean, I give them credit there. 90% of the characters are different. No super mutant, at least that I remember, was involved. There's going to be spoilers. So, anywho, I love Fallout 4. I love the fact that you can literally either build your own player home, which is the settlement system, even though I don't indulge with it very much, but I do like that it's there because it helps with particular characters that I do play. And yes, you could play in a specific way that indicates role-playing, not to the extent of New Vegas, but at the same time, it's still role-playing, and I personally think it's just as good because of the fact that you are given the freedom to do pretty much whatever you want. Screw what the people say about the urgency in the story. Like, literally. I mean, finding your son, depending on the character you're playing, really isn't that fucking urgent. And we can't forget the fucking exploration, man. Like, one of the things that I don't like about the exploration in Fallout 4 is some of the areas are like fucking rehashes of one area you've seen before, but there's a lot of handcrafted areas and a lot of environmental storytelling, which I believe Bethesda does really good at. Is the environmental stuff. And also, a lot of the cities too, like Good Neighbor and Diamond City were pretty interesting, and I know a lot of people say Good Neighbor, Diamond City, and Bunker Hill are the only major cities. Bunker Hill is a lame fucking city, in my opinion. I don't go there very much, unless I'm there to tear shit up for the quest Battle of Bunker Hill. And I had a lot of fun. I mean, you could do a lot in this game. Like, you could literally craft your own Nuka-Colas. You can mix and match flavors. You can go and build your own, as I said before, build your own settlements or a particular player home. You can mod the game. You can also fucking be a raider boss. I mean, there are a plenty of things to do in Fallout 4 that can indicate different types of characters for you to have, even some morally gray. I have a character on the PC version of Fallout 4 named, I forget what I named her. I think I named her Lucy the Dark or something, who is morally gray. Like, she's not terrible, but she also sided with the Brotherhood and tries to get, settlements to force settlements into giving their items and their resources to the Brotherhood of Steel in quote-unquote contributions. You know what I'm saying? And also the fucking visuals. Like, I was playing Fallout 4, and I was looking through, like, I admire the graphics of the game. I always have. Even when I got heavy into it years ago, that was the only game I played for literally a straight year. It still looks fucking good. It looks good. It's the best looking 3D Fallout game, and so far, Bethesda game. I'd even argue, I haven't played 76. 76 probably looks a little better, but I think Fallout 4 in the single player realm is probably Bethesda's best looking RPG that I think I've ever seen in a long fucking time. Another thing too are the side quests. A lot of the time you'll hear fucking people saying, "Oh, the choices don't matter." Motherfucker, they do. There are plenty of side quests that have consequences for the decisions you've made. For an example, Vault 81, even the Cabot House quest, Diamond City Blues, even the Silver Shroud quest line, all have choices that matter. Like, if you decide to let Kent die, you could even, I just don't understand people. Like, I don't even want to bring up this shit. Because I know a lot of this stuff comes from either Bethesda hate or New Vegas stands, which I love New Vegas, but Fallout 4 is equally good in my opinion. I mean, you can't tell me you can't roleplay in Fallout 4, because saying that, might as well say you can't roleplay in New Vegas, because you can't play as a Nuka-Cola fanatic. There's nothing in the game, even for Sunset Sarsaparilla, that says, "Oh, yeah, your character definitely is." But, of course, that's wrong, because you can actually action out your roleplay. Like, actions prove more than words. So if you are a Nuka-Cola fanatic, you could go and drink a shit ton of Nuka-Cola or Sunset Sarsaparilla. And the same thing with Fallout 4. If you're a terrible person, do terrible things. I mean, the game gives you the freedom to do that. If you want to leave the vault and go straight to Diamond City or go somewhere else, or even hell, start doing the DLCs. Now granted, they will be fucking difficult because they have a level cap for a reason. Even I believe New Vegas has some DLCs available for you to do. Go fucking do them. Go to Nuka World. Go to Far Harbor. Automatron, you really can't start until you're a certain level, but you could get to that level before you even reach Kellogg. It's going to be a lot of grinding, but there are some side quests you could do, you know? There are some side quests you could do. I don't think also the voice acting was that bad. You know, I think, honestly, one thing I don't hear said about the voice acting, well, I just want to hear what the player says. In my head, well, they don't have a particular voice that voices a personality, like throughout all the dialogue choices. I consider it a neutral voice, because I remember I made a African-American character, and I thought Brian T. Delaney did a good job. You know, it comes off like any sort of race or whatever the fuck type of character you're making, or whatever orientation that you have them. I think the voice acting is fucking superb, and not just with the male and female protagonists, also with the goddamn NPCs as well, at least this time around. And there's a lot you could do. You could even modify weapons. You could play as a gunsmith, and, well, you know, in New Vegas, I would say it's probably more fun to play as a gunsmith, since the condition and repairs was a thing in New Vegas, but you can modify weapons and then sell them off if you really want to. You can craft out a particular build. I know a lot of people shit on the fucking perk system, but you know what? It's still a role-playing game at the end of the day. It's just another way of doing it. And to be completely honest with you, Fallout 4 is a goddamn good game. It is. It's a good game. It's a great game. I consider it my first favorite. I think it's the first best. New Vegas top second, because those are the only two Fallout games I play. I love Fallout 4. Like, when I realized it turned 10 years old, I remember I looked back. Yeah, pardon me. I looked back, and I was in high school around the time Fallout 4 came out. I wasn't even a senior. I was like a sophomore. I was like 16. And fucking getting introduced to the Wanderer song by Dion. And of course, a bunch of other songs on top of that. You know, like, Fallout 4 got me into computers. I know that's a particular personal reason to like Fallout 4, but there's a lot about Fallout 4 I love, you know? Like, funny story, I bought Fallout 4 a month after it came out, saved up a bunch of my Christmas money, or added all the Christmas money I had together, and spent it all on Fallout 4 for PC. Because I thought, well, you know, if anything, my laptop is not good, so it may lag a lot, but I will be able to play it. Well, the motherfucking game couldn't even get to the menu. Like, the parts in the laptop are so bad, couldn't even fucking load the main menu. And I remember, I feel so bad about this. I took it to a friend's house to download it, and I sat there and watched on New Year's Eve, of all things. It's fucking, the days, man, the days. And to sit here and think Fallout 4 is 10 years old, holy crap, man. It's a goddamn good game. I love Fallout 4. I don't really give a fuck what the other people say. I love Fallout 4 and New Vegas equally, to be honest. It's just, I hate the fucking squabbling about it. Like, come on. Fallout 4 is turning 10. Can we believe that? Like, that was years ago for, like, the first ever single-player game that Bethesda's made in quite a while in terms of the Fallout franchise. Still, in my opinion, the newest fucking single-player Fallout game. I know it's been out for 10 years, but that's the only single-player Fallout game that's most recent. And Fallout 4, you know, tops that in my opinion. Like, I think the visuals are great. Even they hold up to this day. Yeah, there are, you know, times where the game looks fucking ugly. I think one of the worst aspects of the graphics is at night. For whatever reason, I just hate how the game looks at night. Like, the graphics really go from fucking great during the day when you get all those god rays in the right spots. Like Far Harbor, if you look through the fucking trees in Far Harbor and you see those goddamn god rays, holy shit, you think you're tripping. You think you just popped a pill. Or, well, in this case, smoked a fuck ton of weed. Because it looks good. The God Rays aren't as bad either. I heard people say, oh, Bethesda. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, the God Rays look good, in my opinion. But during the day, it's really where the game's graphics pop. With those fucking with that sunshine and all this other stuff. Anywho, I'm rambling Sorry. I wanted to gloat my love about Fallout 4. The companions, too? Oh, God. You cannot tell me. The only companion that I consider lame is Piper. I like her as a character and everything, but her backstory sucks. Like, I mean, oh, I grew up in some settlement, and my father died, and I'm, you know, the mother to my sister, and it's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But Kate... Even Nick Valentine, definitely Paladin Dance. Curie, I haven't actually traveled with McCready, so I have no opinion on him, but those companions, fire, dude. They're fire. Now, again, to each their own. If you do like Piper and her backstory, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, if you do, I would like to know why you even like Piper or Piper's backstory, even though I find it fucking lame. That's just, again, my opinion. Yeah, but the companions, regardless... Even Piper's a good character. Her backstory just sucks. But her as a person, like a character, she's pretty good. You know, and the others I mentioned, minus McCready, they're pretty good too. And the fucking gameplay is amazing. Like, I mean, compared... Well, I don't think New Vegas' gameplay was that bad. But Fallout 3... Well, to be honest, I can't say Fallout 4's gameplay was all that good. There were a few times where I should have hit somebody and it never registered, but it is far better than some of the previous games. But I, again, will say I don't think Fallout New Vegas' combat was all that bad either. God, I'm stroking New Vegas off at the same time, and that's how it should be, because I don't fucking like putting one game down to prop another up. They're both good in my opinion, even to some extent Fallout 3. Fallout 4, man, is probably the best game. There's a lot more to do. New Vegas, you have a lot of stuff to do, too. I just personally love Fallout 4. It was my first Fallout game I've ever gotten so heavily into, and even the first game, and the only game so far, I've been excited for. Wasn't excited for Starfield, wasn't excited for Fallout 76, because I know for a fact those games won't scratch the love and the itch that I had when I played Fallout 4. And the wait and the anticipation, the excitement that I felt when I picked up that PC copy that never ended up working on my fucking laptop, was still excited to get it. And I'm glad I got it because, well, I mean, the disc version still carried over to the digital side of things, which, you know, why make it a disc? But that's how they were then, and I still am able to play it, and it's more of a reason for me to have gotten it, because I ended up getting it, saving up enough money to get a computer and playing it, and then loving the fuck out of it. That is the cream of the crop. Fallout 4 is GOAT. It's just as good as New Vegas. That's a very controversial take. Don't care. It's my opinion. I enjoyed playing Fallout 4. It is probably... I would say you guys should give it a shot. It's up to you. Look it up, do some research if anything. Anyhow, that's my opinion. Without further ado, that's me, Sacred G, and happy birthday, Fallout 4. I wanted to show up early to the party and say, I love this game. This game is probably one of my all-time favorites of all time. I could come back to it and still get just as lost in it, even now without mods. I had an unmodded playthrough, and I think it's just as fucking fun. My own opinion. Mods just make it funner. Anywho, that's me, Sacred G. I'm sorry if this seemed like I brought up New Vegas too, but it's just like, you know, when you talk about Fallout 4, you kind of have to talk about like a few of the games, and the only games I have really any experience with are 4 and New Vegas, probably because they're my babies. They're my first two, Fallout games. Like New Vegas I got into a little later because at the time I didn't understand it or the type of game it was, and then I gave it a shot by cheating on PC to understand the mechanics, and then I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna play vanilla, and then I ended up doing that, and goddamn are these games great. And I'm bringing in New Vegas because without New Vegas we wouldn't even have Fallout 4. So without further ado, that's me, Sacred G. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and no, I don't think New Vegas or Fallout 4 is a terrible game. I don't believe in shitting on one game to prop up another. They all have their faults. They all have their pros. I just personally, Fallout 4 is first at the list, and New Vegas is second, at least for me. Anywho, that is me, Sacred G. I hope you guys have a good one, and, well, type happy birthday, Fallout 4 in the comments. Let's get this party rolling, because on November 10th, that is when it turns 10. So, again, happy birthday. Peace the fuck out. Goodbye.
Let's go, pal.